Hi, this is Coach Rochet with Train Heroic. I'm going to go over some of the stretches we like to do after upper body workouts or just to improve upper body, and namely shoulder mobility and flexibility. Alright, we're here in the garage gym. Just finished a good upper body workout, and just to finish things off, I want to make sure that I stretch the areas that need to be stretched. You know, my shoulders aren't the most mobile shoulders in the world, so I want to make sure that I'm stretching the muscles around the shoulder. And I also like to do one exercise that moves my shoulders through a full range of motion, puts a little blood flow in there, gets the joint moving kind of in a circular fashion, improve the mobility and the health of my shoulder joint. So I'll start with that one. We call that one a lying handcuff. You'll see why when I start doing it. It's basically, if you were a police officer, this is how I would get someone on the ground. This is how I would handcuff them. Those days are long gone for me now, but it's still kind of fun to mimic those things sometimes. So on a lying handcuff, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lie down on the ground, put my chin on the ground, and I'm just lying with my body straight right here, relaxed. I put my arms out in the shape of a Y with my thumbs up. I got this one from Joe DeFranco, man. That guy's got some good stuff, and you know what? I use his stuff and I find it works, so it becomes part of my program. So thanks, Joe. I'm sorry I'm stealing from you, but we appreciate all your help on that stuff. So here we are with a Y. I've got my thumbs up, chin's on the ground. I'm just relaxed, and all I'm going to do is lift my arms up just a hair and sweep back nice and smooth and steady. Now as they get to this position here, even with my hips roughly, because I know I want to put my arms in the small of my back, I'm rotating the thumbs forward, and now here my arms bend, my hands open up, and I place one hand on top of the other right in the small of my back. And at this point all I want to do is just squeeze my shoulder blades together. Now notice I didn't arch up or anything. I'm just right here. I squeeze my shoulder blades together, get a little squeeze in there, relax, and now my arms are coming back, thumbs start to point forward, I get that little rotation in there, I'm back to the Y, and then I sweep back, and I'm doing these nice and smooth and steady. I might alternate which hand is on top in the small of my back, squeeze, and then sweep out. You'll see the rotation of the thumb back to the Y, and I just keep it going. I'm not touching the ground in between. I mean, I guess I could if I wanted to, but I like to keep the tension on the shoulders. Squeeze, and then just sweep out, nice and smooth. You'll get a little burn going after a set of 10. It feels good in the shoulders. You're just moving them through a good range of motion, and I'll go through, you know, a couple sets of 10 to get those ones done. When I'm done on my lying handcuffs, you'll see those written in your program, so now you know what handcuffs are. I'll come over to something that's solid. A rack works, could be a post in the weight room, whatever it is. The first thing I'll do is I'll stretch out my pec and delt tie in here. This usually gets tight. You can get pulled in there from sitting at your computer or doing too much pressing versus pulling, that kind of stuff. Or if you're just naturally tight in your shoulders, that might be a problem. I want to grab up somewhere above my head. Alright, so I don't want to be grabbing here. I'm going to grab with my hand above my head, get a good kind of wide stance. Then I'm going to pull and rotate nice and easy, and you'll feel the stretch right along in this angle. Those muscle fibers kind of work in this angle, so that's the angle I'm working at. I've seen Kelly Starrett do this stretch, works really well, where he actually ties a band up on the rack, loops it around the wrist, and then he'll pull like this, and then the band's pulling against you, and you get even more of a stretch. So that's something you could look at doing. And obviously I'm going to get both sides, grab up nice and high, rotate. I like holding stretches for 20, 30 seconds around in there. Do it a couple times. Nice and easy. You can move around and find different angles. That's always good to do. Move your shoulder into different positions. And then the last one I want to hit, I want to make sure that my lats stay nice and stretched out. I get a good stretch in there. That's going to help with overall shoulder health. So I just kind of grab onto the rack right here, and I pull, and I want to feel it. I'll do it with the other arm. I want to feel it right along here through my lat. And here again, I can move side to side. I can rise up, sit down a little bit, get a better stretch. I'm just long and loose through that arm and really feeling a stretch right through the back right there. Want to stay flexible and mobile in all these areas. I'll hit the other arm and do the same thing. 20, 30 seconds, shake it out. It's going to help keep your shoulders healthy, allow you to move through a full range of motion you need to in your sport and in so many of the exercises we do in the weight room. So make sure you hit these things. You know how to do them now, nice and smooth, and keep training heroically. I'll catch you on the next one.